Greetings and welcome to this week's edition of 401k Real Talk. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor at wealthmanagement.com's RPA, Omnichannel, and CEO at Trow, TPSU, and 401k TV. I review all of last week's stories and select the most important and interesting ones, providing open, honest, and candid discussion you will not get anywhere else. So let's get real. First story, the DOL's most controversial rule with the longest tail has hit another setback, with Republicans in both houses, joined by Democratic Senator Manchin, attempting to derail the fiduciary rule through the Congressional Review Act. Though not likely to succeed, as President Biden would have to sign it, that would change if Republicans win the White House. If derailed, the courts would be the most likely avenue. The rule is quite sweeping, with critics like Brad Campbell, former DOL EPSA director and partner at Fager Drinker, explaining in a recent webinar with colleague Fred Barstein that the DOL may have overstepped their bounds. The controversy is largely over IRA rollovers, with most activity by advisors or insurance agents considered to be fiduciary advice. What is most striking is how the rule could affect brokerage firms and insurance agencies, as organizations that are found to have violated the new rule would receive what Fred and Brad called the death penalty, prohibiting them and their reps from working on rollovers for 10 years. Though insurance agencies that work with independent reps will not be considered fiduciaries, they will have to annually oversee their agents. The existential question is whether firms should start preparing to comply with some provisions effective as early as September 23rd, or take their chances and wait to see if the courts either negate the rule or issue an injunction. Next story, though the conclusions of the white paper by Cerulli, sponsored by Edelman Financial Engines, about managed accounts, gleaned from 3 focus groups and surveys with 823 401k participants, were predictable, there were some interesting insights about the need for advice and how to provide it at scale. Only 16% of participants without access to a managed account were very confident of their investment strategy, compared to 47% that did have access. Predictably, participants were very confused about how target dates, managed accounts, and even other investments work. Half of the participants said talking to a financial advisor is the most valuable aspect of financial advice. The main reason that most participants do not reach out to an advisor is that they think they do not have enough assets and are concerned about costs. So the real question is whether managed accounts in and of themselves provide a viable means to cost-effectively provide advice, in which case the current pricing can be defended, or whether it is just a tool used by advisors to scale advice and increase engagement. Because currently, the results of participants in managed accounts compared to target date do not justify higher fees and have relatively low usage. Next story, Pantera continues to win more advisory firms to their service to enable advisors to manage clients' 401k accounts, with Stifel the latest, covering 2,400 reps and 200,000 clients, announced at their national conference by their CEO. This follows similar announcements by Commonwealth and Cap Trust. To provide holistic advice, wealth advisors must incorporate 401k assets, but the means to do so are less obvious. Individual advisors or firms receiving clients' 401k plan credentials is not realistic in today's environment with hypersensitivity about data privacy and cybersecurity, so outsourcing to a cyber shield provider like Pantera makes sense, though there will be hurdles to overcome with regulators and record keepers as the services become more ubiquitous, used by high-profile advisory shops. Look for RPAs to also use the service, with some record keepers unwilling to share participant data. Next story. We all know AI and ChatGPT is coming to the rules-based and overly complicated DC industry, but few are sure how. One large benefit consultant shared how the technology is being deployed by HR professionals for benefits. AI is being used to create content, especially during open enrollment, to explain insurance plans, coverage, and cost, as well as ways to personalize the benefits, which can be adjusted throughout the year, leveraging data analytics. Additionally, AI can be used to reduce work for call centers and HR professionals. Imagine if DC participants and their families received an introductory video personalized to them about the plan and the benefits when they join an organization, plus additional reminders throughout the year as new features are added, like managed accounts, or their situations change, like getting married or having children, inviting them to provide additional information which will increase engagement. It is not far-fetched. Finally, we always hear this time is different about impending areas like retirement income, but I am usually skeptical. So when I hear or say that the DC industry is going through radical change like never before, which we have often heard, I really think this time actually is different, which will drain the moat which insulates us. Barriers include heavy rules and regulations, arcane technology, and very complicated food chain and distribution systems, but they are not deep enough to resist societal pressures. Read my recent wealth management column about these pressures, which include the shifting of retirement liability to individuals, greater access to payroll-deducted retirement plans, and the explosion of technology and use of data, and how these dynamics will affect advisors, plan sponsors, record keepers, and asset managers. So those were the most important and interesting stories from the past week. I listed a few others I thought were worth reading, covering Vanguard appoints former BlackRock executive to lead their organization. States are beginning to partner to provide auto IRA programs. Goldman wins a $43 billion OCIO mandate. The SEC announces rule requiring advisors to alert clients about data breaches, and BlackRock's head of retirement departs. Please let me know if I missed anything or if you would like to comment. Otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you next week on 401k Real Talk.